back to Bayside Leadership Development, and this is for the West Bradenton Campus Care Team. So my name is Pastor Jim Angus. I oversee all of our leadership development at Bayside Leader right now, and she was talking about all of the different things that we need to look for and develop in the care team and leadership and all that, and I was like, Kim, why don't we just shoot this on a video and send it out to the team? And so luckily she agreed. Now here we are. So Kim, what are some of the things that you are looking for from a care team perspective, and really just what do you want to say to the team?
Okay, so first of all, like you said, first, we're just so thankful. We've got a great care team. In fact, I'm just excited because I've met a few of you, not all of you obviously yet. This is new for me here at West Bradenton, but I am really thankful. You guys have stepped up and you've led, and you're the pulse really of what is Bayside. In fact, I loved the way Veronica said it one time, Jim. She told me, she said, care is the bloodline.
It's so true.
Care is what goes you so much, that you are in care and you're stepping up. If you haven't already, that you're stepping up. If you're new, we're just really excited to have you on the team.
That's great. I mean, you guys have done a great job building care up until this point, but there's also a pretty awesome transition coming in the next couple months of moving into a new campus. And so with that transition, we are always looking for new skills and new values and new ways to allocate our time to be able to step into whatever God has for us in our next season. And so as Kim and I were talking about leadership. And how do we begin filling up care with high quality leaders? So Kim, what are some overarching principles, overarching attributes that you look for in leaders for care specifically?
Okay, so obviously we have different pieces of care, okay? You guys know your area, but just briefly, in encouragers, we have our hospital visitation, we have our Life After Freedom groups, and we have our prayer team, right, that are serving every weekend. Some of those, the things that we require and we need are a little bit different. They're not all the same. So for example, if you are leading the Feed the Need team, literally, if you will get familiar with core motivations, get your booklet back out and look at it. Number one, servers love to serve.
They love it.
Love using their hands. For a server, you can ask them, hey, we've got somebody that needs a meal. Would you be willing to do it? And they're like, yeah, where and when?
Ready to go.
My server's low. My first thought is, where can I find somebody that would be willing to prepare a meal for this family? Not that I don't want to help them, but the whole purpose of core motivations and understanding that as a leader is so that you get the people who want to and they get to and not have to, right?
Absolutely. And just in case you guys aren't 100% familiar, core motivations, you guys can take that quiz during My Place, which is the second week of the growth track. And so I know that some of the names might not be really familiar. You might not be familiar with them, but getting to know these, like Kim said, it crafts a secondary language, and it begins to be the lens by which how you view people and how you can help them get into their place. That's why we called it My Place, right?
Exactly. So just kind of giving you, because we're going to actually have a huddle. I'll be sending out the invite, and we're planning to have a huddle next week, right? And we want to lead that. And he is amazing. And you probably have a little bit more of a hands-on touch with him than you even have had with me. And he's going to lead the meeting. We've talked about it. We've got a vision for it. And just like you said, Jim, this is the thing. We're going to be moving into this new building, right? So even if all of our teams were full right now, which they're not, we need even more people on these teams. And you are the leaders and you're the vision carriers for this. So let me just tell you, I shared with you, if you ever Feed the Need, on the weekends, I want to challenge you as leaders. We'll talk about it more next week. I want to challenge you. You want to go in and you want to visit the people that you know. You know, you're going to say hi and bye, and these people, they're their spiritual moms and dads, brothers, sisters. This is the challenge. When you come in to the church every weekend, think about this second language that we're crafting. Think about, who do I not know? Start developing You'll be surprised how many people, if you were to talk to them and say, hey, have you been to my Bayside? Have you joined Bayside? Have you been to My Place? That you can serve in? And guess what? You'll begin to see a pattern. If you ever Feed the Need, you can hear it in them.
You'll
if they
hear the
say,
language.
Like, I want to do something. I don't know what I can do here. But I love feeding people. Or if you're talking to somebody and they're high-fiving people, they're gathers. And you know what they love doing? Helping people for their next step. Where could we plug them in? As an encourager? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know.
What about Prepare and Enrich?
Absolutely.
Advocators. They see things black and white. They're great for Prepare and Enrich. Because guess what you're doing? People are inviting you to speak into their life.
And advocators are really good at seeing the things that not a whole lot of people see. So a married couple can come in, and an advocator within a couple minutes can sniff out what's going on in the marriage. And so they make great preparing rich leaders for that reason. And so if you guys can get familiar with core motivations, and this is the second language that Kim is like fluent in. So if you need help with that, like come to Kim, ask her, get to know her a little bit better as well if you guys haven't had a lot of these interactions, because I promise you, it changes the way that you look at people coming into the ministry or the teams that you're involved with. And these ministries and teams, they're so vast in their impact, and they really are the bloodline to make sure that the entire body of Christ is healthy. That's really what we're after with this whole thing. So Kim, once we get some people on Feed the Need, which is great because they're like 30% of the population, which is amazing. We're looking for our gatherers, for encouragers. We're looking for our advocators when it comes to preparing rich. But let's say we find these people and we bring them onto our team. Like, then what do we do?
Then what do we do? On the requirements for these different pieces, right?
Yeah.
This is what we want to do, though, is we want to help you and empower you. At the end of the day, that's really what my vision is, and that's what God's called me to do.
Absolutely.
But I want to help you and empower you to not just be the leader of the prayer team, but you pastor those people. And so getting to know them, we'll go over the specifics next week when we meet.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that really what we're trying to do right now is, number one, is say thank you.
Yeah.
Number two, encourage you. Literally take it and run with it in a way you never have before.
We have a very empowering leader who's ready to let you do that.
I'm ready to let you do it. I'm not one of those that I want to hold on to. You know why? Because if I do, I'm keeping you from walking out the calling that God has on your life. And when I say calling, for Kate and for this campus, and we are growing, so that's why we're doing the video.
Absolutely.
You guys, we're going to be moving into that new building, so we need lots of other people who have the same calling. And God's going to use you to identify it. We're going to give you the tools, but God's going to give you and use you to identify the people that need to be brought in